The major area with which we're concerned at this particular period is to determine the dimensions of the sills, the 8 sills that go across, and you notice I have the number here, starting from right to left. We're some question as to whether these are fir or whether they're southern yellow pine. I'm leaning more toward fir just by the grain, but we're hoping to have the person that we are going to get replacement lumber from tell us exactly what it is. They're all supposed to be the same dimension. However, various things have changed that, and that's what we're going to work on. I'm going to start with the number 1 right. And the upper part is 6 inches wide, unlike the others in the intermediate area. And we discovered that for whatever reason, they had this extending out over the bottom, which is about 5 inches, 4 7/8, 5 inches wide, with a rabbet of where the wood is taken out. We didn't discover that till we got way back on the inside, because this upper part was replaced, as are the tops of many, especially on this end. The reason that they had to replace the tops is because the deck sat on here and it wasn't on that tight, and there were spaces between it, so water got in here and just festered and stayed here for forever. And during much of Seashore's life, in addition to its own life, the car sat outdoors, and there was absolutely nothing to protect it. No layer of metal, no layer of paint, or plastic or anything like that. So over time, the Atlantic Shoreline, York Utilities, whichever period it was done, and we will have probably no way of knowing, patched those that needed to be. This one, number 1, has a large patch. It's about 3 inches by 6 inches and goes back to beyond the metal. The number 2 apparently wasn't bad enough during service, so it was not patched, but by poking around and down into the holes with a screwdriver, I'll do it with a pencil right now, I found that I was able to get something solid at that depth, which is about 2 inches. So what we're going to do, is saw off right across a piece 2 inches deep, 46 inches long, which is back to the end of here, which is where it seems to be solid, and the full width, which is in this case 5 inches. The intermediate ones are just about 5 inches, 4 7/8, 5 inches. They vary slightly because of the way they have spread over time. So this one we need to cut. Number 3, there's this piece that was bolted on. It goes back to the metal over the bolster, but then it goes back further. There was more deterioration at some point after the repair was made. Number 4 is going to go back beyond the metal plate, I believe. It's 3 by 65, 3 inches deep, 65 inches long. Same thing on the number 5.